Hey y'all, what y'all doing today? Alright, now that we got a little groundwork laid, got the Livescope settings dialed in, you've been out there practicing, here's you a few tips on what to start with, what kind of jig or bait you gonna start with. I'm gonna use crappie fishing. Starting out, if I was just now starting with Livescope, I would probably start with, if I had to pick, I'd probably go with depends on how much you one pole fished. If you one pole fish, quite a bit, your longer poles ain't that bad. Starting out, I'd start out with probably an 11-foot pole. I personally like the X13. It's a 13-foot rod. It's from Jinko, and I love it. Like, it's basically the only one. I'm just single one pole straight down jig fishing. That's the only pole I use, and that's pretty much the only one that I will use. But every now and then, different lengths have their times and they have their place. But if you fished a lot with one pole, I'd try those 13-foot. It's in between. It's not as short as a 10. It's not one of them big 15, 16-foot jig pole. It's just right for me. But anyway, use a rod that you're comfortable with. The size, the length that you're comfortable with, use it. Put whatever line you like on there, braid, fluorocarbon, whatever you like, mono. At this right now, we're not worried about the line. We're worried, your rod, you need whatever you're comfortable with. And what I would do is I personally, if you're just now starting out, so you can see your bait good and your jig good, I wouldn't use nothing no smaller than an 1/8 ounce jig head. And as big as a quarter. I mean, quarter, as long as the fish will eat it, quarter's even better. And here's why. You can see it a lot better on Livescope. That bigger, lead signal that sonar hits, you can see it a lot better on your Livescope, on your screen there. And if you can get them to eat a bigger bait, that's even better, because you can see that bigger bait better. It's just going to make it easier for you to figure out what's going on. The bigger the bait you can get by with, the easier it is to see on Livescope. It just makes things a lot better. I wouldn't start off with the weight above the tiny jig right out the gate, because you're going to get flustered, because sometimes if you ain't watching when it's coming down, it'll float and get twisted up, and you're going to be madder than a deadgum midget in a deadgum, I don't know, you're going to be mad. But just don't try that. Just go with like a 1/8 ounce jig or a 1/4 ounce jig, whatever you can get on the bite. The biggest thing you can get by with, start with that. If you can get a big bait on it, start with a big bait. It'll let you see it a whole lot easier. What I can say is, 9 times out of 10, most people, when they look at Livescope for the first time, they think everything is going left or right. When you're reading the screen, everything's coming in this way, and everybody tries to move their pole left or right to put it in front of the fish. That's not how it is. That when the fish or your jig or whatever, when it's moving this way, it's coming to you. Your boat's going straight, so your jig's coming to you. It's not going left and right. So don't be trying to move your pole and watch it on the screen. If you do that, you're gonna get it out of the cone of the sonar, if you will. Everything on that screen's coming to you or away from you, one of the two, because it's only got like a, I think, 17-degree cone. So just think of it that way. Whatever you're seeing, I know it's coming, like this. It's coming horizontal, whichever way. I got my phone flipped backward, so it'll screw it up. But anyway, it's going one way or the other, however you can see it. That's not left and right. That's forward and backward. Just keep that in your mind when you're dropping that jig on that fish. Keep that in your mind that whatever you see on that screen is either coming to you or going away from you. And that'll help you a lot in getting used to it. And like I said yesterday in that video, or the other day, don't try to run up on them all hot. Don't come in hot. Ease into them and keep you from spooking them. That way, if something happens and you make a bad drop, you can get another shot on them. You can ease down on them. You don't blow them out. Second thing I can tell you, keep the jig above them. Keep the bait above them. Try not to drop it down below them right at the fish. They don't like it. I don't know why. I ain't no fish. I can't tell you if they don't like it. Which I know crappie got eyes. They see up. They will. I have seen crappie go down and eat a bait. You got one out in front of them. I've seen them swim down. But I'm talking about when you drop right straight down on a fish, keep that jig right above them. Don't let it drop in front of them and then bring it up to them. For some reason, they don't like it. I don't know why. That's just been what I've seen on there. Keep that bait above them. I like keeping it up above them a pretty good bit. Every now and then they get a little perturbed, I guess you will, get an old foul mood, like old woman sometimes. Oh, I'm sorry, like they just get in a bad mood, and you got to hold it for a little while. But for the most part, hold that jig right above them. That's where they like it. You'll see them all of a sudden they'll turn, come up, and eat it. And a lot of the times you'll see them eat it before you ever feel the bite. You'll see them swirl and get it and grab it, and then you'll feel the bite, and then you just get them in the boat. You snatch on them one good time, you put them in the boat, or put them in that old deer net, and long dip net, long how you going out there and get that thing. But I just swing them in the boat 9 times out of 10. That's why I like that old X13 too, son. You can just swing that son gun right around and put him in the boat. You're far enough away to where it won't spook them as easy. And I will say that the shorter rods you use, the bigger of a chance you're going to have at spooking a fish. That's why I like, and the longer rods, 15s and the 16s, they're really long. If you're new to Livescope, it's going to take some getting used to, which it's all going to take getting used to, but I would try somewhere middle of the road. My personal preference, that X13 from Jinko, it's a 13 foot, it's light, it's extremely sensitive, and it's got a lot of backbone, enough to swing them right in the boat. I've swung 2.5 pound fish in it. I swear to you, got the video. That Kevin Rogers Jinko's got plenty of backbone. 13 foot in it. That's just where I like. That's and I mean, there's a lot of good rods out there. This ain't no rod selling video. There's a lot of good rods. Pick one that you like, brother. Just pick whatever kind you're comfortable with. Pick a length and just use it. And it's just practice, repetition, repetition, repetition. But y'all try that. Like I said, start out with the biggest bait you can get by with. I wouldn't go with anything smaller than an 1/8. Just starting out. You can see it so much better on your Livescope. You can see your bait a lot better. I mean, if they'll eat a quarter, feed them a quarter. I love fishing with a quarter now. If you can get them to eat it, feed them that. You can see it so much better, and it'll make your life a lot better learning this whole Livescope forward-facing sonar gig. And keep that bait right above them. When you're dropping down on them, try to slip up on them like you old japping old turkey. You know how you slip through the wood and you jap a turkey? You got to slip up on them old crappies like that. And drop that bait just right down on top of them. Keep it above them. Keep it right above them. And he'll come up there 9 times out of 10, or maybe not 9 times out of 10, but most of the time he'll ease on up there and sample it a little bit. And that's when you snatch on them, son. You give them the business, as they say. But sure would appreciate y'all hit that old like and subscribe, that little bell, that ding bell, like them boys over on the Googans or whatever, old J Wheels and them ain't got that ding bell. But anyway, man, I hope this helps some folks. And if you got any more questions, hit me up. I got a couple more. One guy wanted me to do a graph depth shading video. I'll probably do that next week. But I'm gonna stay on this old Livescope here for a couple more videos. Yeah, y'all try that. If you got any questions, you want to see anything, hit me up in the comments. I'll do my best to get to them. I know I ain't got to everything yet, but it's coming. I'm only one man. I'm trying what I got. I got a lot of irons in the fire, but we'll get there, brother. I sure do appreciate y'all. Like I said, y'all let me know if you think anything you need to know or want to ask. And y'all keep snatching on them.